about what our connection. Maybe we'll go ahead and talk about what our connection prompt is going to be, and that'll give us all time to get, well, connected. So our connection prompt for this session, oh, there they are.
You want to hook into this one?
Our connection prompt for this session is, would you share your name and one experience that you represented on your vision board? And you might remember we were going to each make vision boards last time. And our vision boards were a compassionate school that was designed just for us. And we put some experiences on it that we would find joyful and activities that aligned with our lifestyle. So I'm going to put us back so we can see each other. And I'm Linda, and I'm from Johns Hopkins, and you all saw my vision board last time. And so one of the experiences on my vision board was intergenerational theater. And I'm going to pass it to the RFK room and say who, if you guys want to go around the room and talk about who will share.
What was your question?
Would you share your name and one experience you represented on your vision board? So I'll have to turn off one of the audio.
Your mic is on.
That's why it's. We're using this mic. Okay, now it shouldn't echo. But can they hear you? Yeah, okay, they said yeah. Okay, go ahead. Your name and one of the things that you presented on your board. So somebody hold it like maybe over here. So
Yeah, Alejandro.
Okay, who's gonna go first?
I can go first.
Okay, Ruby, say your name.
My name's Ruby, and one experience that I put out here is like hanging out with friends. That's what I put.
That was beautiful.
Introduce yourself and one thing on the board. Hi, my name is Jennifer, and one of the things I would put here is bringing the dreams to life. So we have a lot of like activities where people can explore their interests like art or auto bodies or well-being, whatever they want to do.
Nice.
And Alejandro Garcia, one thing I've put here. I found something like that.
Good morning, everyone.
I think it was I think it was the same. So I put this one. Not only to honor my mother, but to tell a human story. To signal or signify that every student has a story to their learnings and their and their life.
My name is Alejandro Lopez. I wasn't here for this activity. I was preparing for Thanksgiving. But one thing I do feel like I did connect with was probably grateful. Like I am grateful for this entire team and everything putting this together, and for my entire school preparing programs for each other and making the school fun. So that's what you
My name is Zoe Chavez, and I resonated with our schools encouraging students to pursue college and helping them with dual credit to advance them in their career. My name is Adriana Gonzalez, and what I really feel strong about is speaking voices because after the RFP, this is Our name's Ella.
My name is Mikey Montoya, and work that I do is the birds graduating, preparing all the students for graduation.
I'm Angelina Sanchez, and I put this one belonging because of this school. The teachers are they make us feel really well. Somebody get somebody. Somebody else. Somebody. Yeah, from on the screen. John Green. John Green. Oh, we're gonna pass it to John Green.
Thank you very much. Nicely done. John Green, you're up.
Okay, I'm gonna go real quick because I want to really have some time with Nathan and Rebecca. I can just say I'm extremely grateful to have had a chance to get behind the scenes on what they have developed and what continues to evolve. They truly have a model in action where they're expanding agency for a lot of students and doing it through this. I mean, just a whole, it's very robust what's going on. And so I just really do appreciate getting a chance to, I feel like I'm in a Back to the Future movie or something, you know, it's really kind of weird. But anyway, just looking forward to the continued conversation. And I'm gonna pass it on to Rebecca. How's that?
Hey, everyone. Do you want us to share our vision boards right now or just what we're connected to from it?
You're just sharing one of the experiences you put on it, and you don't have to show it. Okay, so you're in the car. Yeah.
Well, I'm ready. So you let me know what I don't want to disappoint you.
Okay, no, you're good. You're good. You do you.
Okay. Well, I think part of the model that Dr. Green was speaking about is the robust student agency that the North Gwinnett School, high school and middle school have and support. And what we're looking to build is that connection between middle school and high school. But the part I connect most to, and I feel like where I plug into this piece is building that teacher agency first, and that teacher leadership piece that has to then really be there in order to cultivate the student agency in an authentic way. If the teachers have that agency and opportunity to lead well, then the students will authentically be able to experience that in their classroom environments as a whole too. And I'll pass to Nathan Valentine.
Good afternoon, everybody. I do have a quick picture here. I don't know if you can see this, but this one right here, kind of what Rebecca and John were talking about is that idea of student agency. And so in this particular picture, this was student choice, kind of a hands-on experience. I connect with it personally because I do learn by hands-on demonstration, hands-on learning, and I think that's part of the work we're doing. But that was one example that happened a couple of weeks ago. And so I thought that was something that in terms of being connected, it helps the students with choice of an area they're interested in, as well as something that we're designing for them to actually be a part of. So that's kind of how I came this idea of connected and what's important to me. So I'm going to turn it over to Cindy O'Neill.
Cindy, can you hear us?
Yeah, we've already gone. So we presented as with the students at RFK.
Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you, Cindy. Anna, you want to go next?
Hi, everyone. I'm Anna. I'm in Boston, an alternative high school here. So something big that stood out for us is holistic growth. Again, we are an alternative high school and / therapeutic high school. And when we talked about holistic growth, we talked about establishing experiences that allow us to connect with ourselves first, and then with our family, with our community, and then how do we establish connections with the world and globally? So where are we in all of these layers? So that's it for me, and I would like to pass it to, let's see. Melissa.
I see. Okay, can you guys hear me? Sorry. Okay. So my name is Melissa Santana. I'm with Mark Armijo Charter School here in Albuquerque, New Mexico. We have about 230 students enrolled in our school. So we're a small high school. And so through connectiveness, our school is really big with restorative justice practice here. And so we do our circles with our students each week. But what we've decided to do to grow with this JHU process is we're using 3 advisory classes to talk about connectiveness, what it looks like, what it feels like, and then using the restorative circles in when we start our each session with the students. And so what I've kind of found is that um, our students from last year that were our JHU students are the ones that are leading this process. And they were the ones that had the idea of, hey, let's expand this. Let's do more students. Let's get more voice. Let's get more student input in this, and let's see how we can really help and grow our school. So what I like is that our students have this great opportunity to have that voice and have that option, and then the school be able to participate and follow through with it. And I want to show our student that gave the idea to have advisories and interns. And so, oh, let me take her off blur. Oh, you can't. Here, jump in, run. This is our student that had the idea. So very proud of her. So that's what we're learning at our school is really giving the choice and the option and the students and following through with the students' input.
Thanks, Melissa. And do you know who you want to pass to?
Let me see. Who has not? Lisa Ortiz, have you got?
Good morning, everyone. My name is Lisa Ortiz, and I'm here with 3 of my students. I have Jaden, Drake, and Leslie. We're from Health Leadership High School, and one of the things that we have everything ready to go when we're ready to present, but we're a restorative high school, so we work on our connected circles, social, emotional, and also the trauma enforced, but also geared for students who are wanting to go into the medical field. We're very much about agency, and really having that partnership and giving back to the community. So I just wanted to share one of the things, and later on our students will present more in depth of it. But one of the things that we came out together with is there comes a time when we must come together as a whole. So that's going to be the whole thing about coming together, but also connecting in with everything that our school has to offer and where we want to expand from and where our project is, where we're heading towards. But I wanted to share a little bit of some pictures about some of our students. I don't know if you can kind of see, but these are really giving, agency, our students taking into working into their projects, giving back to the community. These are some of you can kind of see, sorry, I don't know. I should have had them on a slide, but just the overall on the holistic approach, also the Western medicine approach, but just really giving back into the community and coming together to make sure that they're building that foundation and how our students have a voice. And I'm not sure who else has not gone.
Lisa, could we have your students introduce themselves?
Absolutely.
My name is Leslie.
My name is Drake.
My name is Jaden.
Thanks. I didn't mean to interrupt you, Lisa. And now you can.
That's okay. Was there anybody, I'm sorry, Miss Linda, if there was anybody that you know of that hasn't gone? Because
I think Nathan has not gone. Am I right, Nathan?
I did share already. Thank
You
you.
did share already. I'm sorry. Maria.
Maria hasn't, looks like.
Hi, everyone. My name is Maria Waltemeyer, and I'm with the Everyone Graduate Center at Hopkins. And very much aligned with what Nathan shared. And just to back up a little, the picture that Linda shown as the welcome. So that's sort of like the vision board that we used when together we were envisioning this dream school of ours. So the one element for me that stood out was the maker space for the reasons that Nathan spoke about, right? The opportunity to use creative skills and problem solving. But along with that, when we're working in learning, when we're learning by doing, we also create the foundations for social emotional connections, not only for the students, but also for those adults who are supporting the students. So makerspace was my one thing. And I am going to call on let's see who hasn't gone. Jerry.
Thank you, Maria. Just for me, and when I think about learning spaces, I think of something that's connected to the community where learning takes place somewhere in the community outside of a traditional school building. And Melissa, did you have an opportunity to go yet? Okay, then I think we're Greg, did you share?
No, I'm Greg Howell from JHU, but my dog ate my vision board. But I go along with what Maria and Nathan were and backing up with the makerspace, because when I got involved with that process, it was the first time that I got actually involved in a design process when we were working together. And I found that I looked forward to the days when we all would get in the big room, and it was very communal, and it really developed my interpersonal relationships with people I always didn't work with very much, and that was very important. And I gained a lot from it. And I think that's everybody. Linda, you started us, right?
I think that's everybody too. Yes? Okay. Thank you, everybody, for sharing and your work on your vision boards. I want to have those be top of mind because we're going to learn a new method, if you will, that we're going to use this time. And what we're going to use this time is called a stock and flow diagram, okay? And so the idea of a stock and flow diagram is just so that you can see the whole picture. Sometimes like health leadership was saying, sometimes you have to come together as the whole system, right? So a stock and flow diagram allows us to do that. So basically it has three parts. It has the stock, and the stock is the thing that you're trying to build or develop, okay, kind of like with soup, right? And then the arrows are the flows. And then the clouds are like, they're kind of like in math, like the domain, okay? They're like what can go in. So let me show you with this bathtub, okay? Because we've all familiar with a bathtub, right? Well, if we were thinking about a bathtub, in the bathtub, the water that's in the bathtub, that would be our stock, okay? See how it's in that square? Because that's what we're collecting. That's what we're developing. That's what we're building capacity for, okay? And then you see this little faucet here. It says inflow, right? That's what allows the tub to fill. And then on this side, it says outflow. And of course, that's where the water drains out of the tub. That's all there is to a stock and flow, okay? It's what am I trying to develop capacity for? What allows that to get full and what things drain it, okay? So let me go to the next slide if you don't mind. And so you all made vision boards of what it might be like to have a generative ecosystem at your school, right? That would sustain your well-being, that you would find joy in going to, right? So and you saw mine last week, or if you weren't with us last week, maybe you saw it on the website where we put them. But you might remember that I had a vision board. So see, and my vision board represented, it was just a picture of what a generative school ecosystem would look like for Linda. So the things that fill it, the things that make it have capacity from my vision board, I had choice, I had opportunities for service in the community, I had hands-on things, I had authentic things, I had connections and socialization and fun. A lot of the things that I heard you guys share, right, in common. And then the thing that's not on my vision board that I'm going to ask you to spend just a few minutes reflecting on today is what would take away the water from that bathtub? What would take away from that generative feeling? And so over here I have, well, when you have to fit learning in a time slot, sometimes that would take away from these things. Or sometimes the things that at my school aren't connected to me or what I want to learn about or my community or my world, or they don't look like me. And then the last one, sometimes the things that I learn about, somebody else already decided what the outcome should be. And so they can test it and decide if I get it right. And that didn't seem very good for me. Okay, so that's my stock and flow, okay? I'm going to have you guys do a stock and flow. We're just going to take a couple minutes. You can't do it wrong, okay? We put a PDF in the chat, but that's just so you can see it. You just, on a scratch piece of paper, you can just put, like I did on that Post-it note, okay? If you didn't make a vision board, you could do it around, like when you were talking about agency or belonging. I want to show you one other one that a student made, if that's okay with you, just so you have more than one example, okay? So let me just move my people out of the way. There they go. Okay. All right. So this is an individual stock and flow. It's an individual system. And this student has well-being in the middle, okay? I'm going to read it. I don't like it when people read slides, but I'm going to read it because it's tiny and it's hard to see, okay? This student says well-being is a state of internal peace, health, happiness, stability, balance, joyfulness, inspiration, and motivation to continue giving the best version of yourself to the world. That's great, right? That's that individual person's, right? That's what you're going to do. You're going to put your individual ecosystem, something that one experience that you shared today. And then what are the things that contribute to it? So on the left, in his flows, he has smiles, laughs, sports, purpose, devotion, nature, sleeping, and Brooklyn 99 is my favorite. And then on the right, he has things that take away from that would take away from it. And he has selfishness, injustice, laziness, devilry, lack of honesty. Tomato sauce was my favorite on that side. Okay. What I want to know is, do you kind of get the idea? Does this make sense to you? And could you take the next few minutes to just take one of the experiences from your vision board or your idea about agency at your school and make a stock and flow? Have any questions about the idea of stock and flow? Any questions that you might want to check on with me before we keep going? Okay. I do want to say one thing. The way this is pictured, it looks like a line, right? But I want you to think about it like a wave, okay? Because you could fill it and then it drains, and then you could fill it and then it drains, all right? So Like we're always changing, we're always in flux, right? And remember we talked about that, like while things are changing, resisting change is happening at the same time. So it's always more like a wave than a line, okay? But it still helps us see the big picture and how different factors are interacting with each other. Okay. All right, we're about to go to team time next, okay? So I wanted you to have that individual experience first, because during team time, what we're going to do is you're going to, with your team, you're going to say, okay, now we've had some experiences. We've made vision boards, we've had empathy interviews, we've made empathy maps. We just played with that stock and flow a little bit. And before today, I asked you if you could try to come up with a couple headlines about things that are coming up for you and your team. And what we're going to do now is we're going to brainstorm some how might we questions that might become what you're going to design, okay? So sometimes how might we questions come from opportunities to create something new or to make a loose structure. So this example in the background on this slide is how might we make the entrance to the school feel more inviting and safe? And then different people have ideas there. And you know, it's interesting because I was at a school 2 weeks ago, and there was a young lady, and they have scans in the morning, metal detectors, and everything was very tight and compressed there. And it was very, very challenging. And we were talking about just the fact that there's not enough space there, right? How might there be an opportunity to just shift that a little bit? So it's interesting that that happens to be the how might we that was on this slide. But what you're going to do is come together. You know, we're not going to really have enough time, but we're going to try to put you together for like 15 minutes. And you're going to have that conversation about your vision boards and your empathy maps and your experiences, and see if you could come up with 2 how might we questions. And it's how might we, and then you want to action, okay? And so I gave you some examples: reimagine, enhance, encourage, foster, simplify. They aren't the right answers, they're just examples. How might we action something? Could be school buses, could be school lunch, could be math class, could be anything, right? Could be teachers, could be alumni, okay? So it could be a what, any what, so that we can, and then it's whatever you want it to be, have more agency, be more joyful, include more people. You will know. You can't do it wrong. Jerry, did we put the PDF in the chat? Okay, there's a PDF in the chat in case you need to reference it. And we're going to put the people that are in teams in Zoom rooms together. And if you don't have a team, we're going to put you in a Zoom room together, and Jerry or I or Maria will join you. And let's do it.
The vision board that the students worked on and their storyboard, and then what we're doing here, we're going to have an opportunity, they'll have an opportunity to present afterwards before we leave?
No.
No?
You're really presenting it with each other, but all of this, Lisa, is really just informing what you're going to do as your design challenge. So when we come together, it's really so we can keep helping each other with methods and ideas that are going to keep that work toward what it is that you're going to build a prototype for.
Or when we get over it.
Right. When you guys come together in February, that's when you're going to share your prototypes. You're just ahead of us.
Okay. All right.
Come back. We know that was not enough time, but it's just a little bit of time to begin. So we do, though, want to take a pause and be sure. How is everybody with the how might we questions? Do they make sense? Do you want to talk at all about how might we questions? Or, yeah, any questions about how might we questions?
Health leadership is good. Thank you, Ms. Linda.
No questions about the how might we's? Okay, I'm going to take us back to the slides. Okay. So what happens next? It may be hard to believe, but in just these 3 sessions, we have covered so much territory already, right? We really began to expand our horizons about what different perspectives people have when they come on our campus. We began to do some defining of what that was like, and we did some empathy maps. We envisioned what it might be like if we had a school where it was joyful, both from a universal level and a particular individual level. And where we are now, and what you're going to spend the time from now till we come back together in February, is we're at prototyping and testing. Okay, that's where we are in our journey. Okay. So let's talk about that for a few minutes. Prototype what? So what you're doing is you're going to make a rough and ready, not finished, rough and ready representation, a visible representation of your idea. Okay? It is more about having a mindset that what you're trying to do is make something that helps other people understand the idea you and your design team came up with. And that you're inviting them, you're asking them questions. What do you think about this? Okay. It's not that you're presenting it as a solution. It's that you're presenting it so that you want to say, hey, what do you think? Okay. It's going to allow you to see how people interact with it. So you and your team are going to say, for our idea, after we take our how might we question and we brainstorm and we come up with some ideas that we would like to propose, how might we make a visible representation of this to check out? So here you see there's somebody prototyping a model where this dog is going to be a reading coach, right? And somebody is prototyping reading a book with the dog, and there's somebody on the side. Okay, they're just doing a test run. Will it work best with multiple pieces? What are the strengths that our teams have? Prototypes can be skits, videos, simulations, Powtoons, Canvas, storyboards. You cannot do it wrong, okay? This is about you taking this visible idea that you're trying to get other people to interact with. See that picture there of the man selling the cars? It's not that. You're not trying to sell it. You're not taking it to other students at the school and saying, hey, look at this great idea we came up with. No, it's like this picture on the bottom, right? Where you can see people are in the side and they've given them some paper bags that are representing something, and they're watching people interact with it so they can better understand how they're going to interact, okay? Let's go. Let's see if I can move my people again. Great. Okay. You want people to be able to experience it, and you want to be a guide. You want to see how they use your idea. Now, this person has this computer screen on their head. Maybe the people who designed it had a completely different idea, but they're not going to tell her that. They're going to watch and see how somebody interacts with their prototype. They're going to listen, they're going to talk, see how it gets used, right? Just to learn. Prototypes are so we can learn. You can see here somebody's prototyping like some kind of lunch service at school, or maybe a culinary pathway. And you can see behind them, they've been capturing notes on the side even, right? About how people interact with it. They're asking questions, finding out more information. So you're, as a team, taking those how might we's that you began today, and you're beginning to say, okay, what is our idea of how we can address this how might we? And how can we make a visible model of it to test out with people? Test out with people in our community, test out with people with other people, with students, teachers, whomever it might be. On February 5th, we're going to share where we are with this. So we're going to share our prototypes and share. Some people may have done lots of tests. Some people may not have tested yet. Some people may just be finishing up their prototypes. People will be in different spots. That's okay, right? We're going to be where we are. But on February 5th, we're going to come back together to share where we are in this process. I'm also asking each team to email me, and I'm going to ask Jerry if she'll put my email in the chat, mlinda@jhu.edu. I'm asking each team leader to give us 3 possible times that would work for a check-in. I would say like 45 minutes, but we probably will only use 30 minutes, okay? So give us 3 possible times, and then I'll set up a Zoom and a confirmation so we can do check-ins on January 6th on where you are in the process, and also to talk about teams that are interested in coming to Washington, D.C. and all of the logistics around that. Okay, so that is where we are, and that's what comes next. Do you have questions for me? Nothing? You good?
Miss Linda, Health Leadership High School is good. I think, unless you have a question, Leslie? Drake, do you have a question? Jaden? No. I think we're good, Miss Linda.
And you'll send me 3 times, Lisa, the week of January 6th.
Yes, and I just wrote myself a note.
Thank you. Thank you. How are those grandbabies?
Oh, absolutely wonderful. The twins both got discharged from the NICU. So my grandson and my granddaughter are both doing amazing, and they're at home with my other granddaughter who's 3. So yeah.
Wonderful.
Their names are Oliver is my grandson and Jade is my granddaughter.
Beautiful. Thank you, Lisa. That's beautiful.
Thank you for asking.
Best Thanksgiving ever.
Yes.
Nothing else for the good of the order? Okay. See you in February and before at the check-in. Thank you for coming. Thank you for all you do. Thank you for being you.
Thank you.
It was
Have a
great to
great
see you all.
holiday.
You all have a Merry Christmas.
Same to you.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.